Let's do this!
All night long.
And according to this, we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Holy Crap, the Vlogcast. A vlogcast that comes from a skeptical point of view to answer some of the questions of why. This vlogcast started as a combination of spite and the Streisand effect because apparently I don't have enough bullshit on my lap to go ahead and not deal with this stuff tonight. Part of us to follow through with the old adage, sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. I'm your main host. I'm known as Shujin Tribble. As you can see there on the screen, S-H-U-J-I-N. Hi. Let me introduce you to everybody, and then I'll explain what the hell is going on, because this is being a minor fiasco, and things are going to be a little bit different from normal right now because reasons. Let me explain what's going on. Because of the way that landscaping is on the video, please forgive me just a little bit. At the moment, top left-hand corner on my screen is, believe it or not, from outside of Washington, D.C., UnrenownedTech. Good morning.
Hi, guys. And you got serenaded in the first few seconds of the opening of the act. Sorry about that, folks.
Underneath on your screen, from the Midwest of the U.S., Brigid. Good evening.
Good evening.
Right dead center of the screen from previously Pittsburgh, now not quite Pittsburgh. Joey, welcome back.
Let's just say just outside of Dayton.
We'll go with
I
that.
missed you, man.
And top right-hand corner at the moment from Paris, France. Good morning, Joseph.
Good morning.
And as you can tell, here I am in the top, very, very top right-hand corner and the bottom right on the Discord chat. Now, let me kind of explain how things are working at the moment, and then we'll kind of actually progress into all this stuff. Item number one, of course, is that Dalan is not here because he's busy making money. Lucky guy. He's probably going to be in a little bit of annoyance when he looks at the 5-minute freestyle and goes, I should have been there for this. Yeah, I'll tell you about that after. The way that we have been running Holy Crap the Vlogcast since its inception, basically, is to use Hangouts on Air, which is an offshoot of Google Hangouts, their joint chat video conferencing system. And in their wisdom, Google has said, you know what, we're not going to support that anymore. There are a number of groups that were doing exactly the same kind of thing that we were, but for whatever reason, they just said, yeah, we're just gonna stop using it anymore, and why bother?
Yeah, they decided to kill it like many other actually good idea products that they had come up with.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, I can.
yeah, so the way that this is going to go at the moment is that we're going to use Discord as our group connection piece, and on my computer, I am using OBS, Open Broadcast System Server, whatever it stands for. I don't care. The bottom line is we're basically all in talking into me. I am then talking out to Google and the rest of the world, and consequently out to all of you guys. So things are a little on the weird side because I tried to set this all up, but this is still all kinds of it's still a very weird setup. We're going to talk a little bit more about the technical aspects of it all in a little bit. Not right now, because I just kind of want to get a couple of things started over here. So for those of you that are paying attention live and we're patiently waiting for us, thank you. I'll fill you in on the bitch fest of it all in a little bit. So, you know, it is what it is. So if anybody wants to be paying attention and chatting with us live on YouTube, you can still do that. If you want to join the Discord server so that you can, you know, pop us questions or whatever, you can always do that later. Do we allow a voice channel over there? Yeah. Are you going to interfere with us? No. No, that's not even going to be an issue. So don't even worry about that. But otherwise, like I said, there's a story behind this whole thing. So let me at least get everything rolling as best I can at the moment. So back to using my phone as my timer right now. We'll see about that. In the meantime, with 5 minutes on the clock, let me reopen my... because I moved everything over to Google Docs instead of doing a text document on my computer, because, again, reasons I'll explain. With 5 minutes on my clock, 5-minute freestyle starts right now. Now, for those of you that were having a little bit of a hard time actually reading the 5-minute freestyle, it's pronounced stjόrnborði. And my pronunciation, I know full well, is absolutely atrocious. That's why I was saying that Dalan's probably going to have a fit when he hears this. Stjórnborði. It's Norwegian. I know. My Norwegian sucks. Leave me alone. Stjórnborði is a term that some people would actually recognize if they have had anything to do with nautical experience. For those of you that don't get it, however, over the years, many years, the term has come to be, in English, starboard. And it all comes because the stjórnborði was the, well, basically the outboard rudder, shall we say, on a longboat. On the right-hand side of the ship, you would have the steering mechanism, the steering board, the stjórnborði. And that's how you would guide which way the boat would go. Yeah, I know, it sounds simple now, but the reason why it was on the right-hand side of the boat as you're on the boat facing forward towards the bow, the pointy piece that goes forward, is because most people, right-handed, right-hand dominant, stronger arm. So you'd be able to steer the boat easier because you were using your strong arm. And the left side didn't have to worry about, impacting the rudder. You had the port, the pier, where you were able to get in and out of the boat because, people would walk along the plank to get in or out. Yeah, legit planks. I'm going to borrow a line from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And I'm going to completely butcher the line. It's that you don't just need to know how a starship operates, you need to know why. And that goes with a lot of things. Why is one side of the boat called port and the other starboard? It's because, over time, that's the convention that was put into place. On the right side, that's where all the steering mechanism was. And if you impact on that, well, you can't steer your boat, and that kind of impacts how you can move you around. On the left side, of course, well, you've got people getting in and out, and cargo getting in and out. And that didn't just stay with just boats. Aircraft have done the same thing. Over the years, it's pretty much the convention that's kept up. The reason why I wanted to kind of talk about this and to talk through this part is that I've said I grew up near the ocean. I never remembered which side was which, simply because it was never really taught to me, because I didn't really need to know. Because we're out in the Great South Bay, so it's right side of the boat, left side of the boat. Okay, easy enough. But learning afterwards why one is called what it is and the other is not made things a little bit dicey for a while. And I tried to understand why. And it was kind of weird for me because, well, let's face it, I don't speak Norwegian. Most people I know don't. But it gave me a much bigger appreciation for the generations of sailors that came before. The ones that I will never understand the language that he spoke. I will never have the opportunity of speaking with him. But it made me realize how rich a history there is in just learning two simple words. Maybe learning another language isn't such a bad idea sometimes. Maybe learning another language is actually a really good idea. This is episode 272 on the docket, Your Honor. Check. 1, 2, check. 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 1, 2, check. There. So, let me fill everybody. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me just get the last piece out of the equation. I don't have any new information about Rafe Badawi. Forgive me for kind of breezing through it just a little bit. I just kind of I'm nervous and I'm stressed. As of the recording of tonight's show, with no new information, it has now been 7 years, 1 month, 20 days since Rafe Badawi was unjustly incarcerated for thought crimes. Our hopes, our thoughts are still with you and your family, and we are still waiting. Now, back over to all the stuff that's been going on that's driving me up and down a wall like you would not believe right now. Trying to set up this thing with Discord Maron has been a little bit of a lot of hair pulling on my side, because I rebooted my computer into Windows in order to make sure that I've got everything working. With luck, on the YouTube recording side, we will not have the problem of my audio crackling, which has been a perennial problem. That's a technological problem that I've tried to solve over many months, and I haven't yet been able to figure out why. Rebooting my computer into Windows takes an exorbitant amount of time. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it just does. Although I'm not quite sure about that one myself, but be that as it may. So setting this whole damn thing up has been interesting, to put it mildly, and I am not in any way, shape, or form comfortable with the way that this is. However, with luck, we will find out that everything will be just perfectly fine. If things work the way that I want them to, I'm not going to have to be futzing around with clicking on whose camera is supposed to be up, because, well, generally speaking, we're not going to be running with cameras, except for maybe one, possibly two, to kind of make sure the bandwidth is okay, versus, well, you know, there's stuff. So this is all.
I just noticed.
Yeah.
If I may inject real quick, when I restarted my camera software, so for the moment that I had my camera turned off, it went from the scene that the YouTubers are seeing right now to seeing our chat window.
Yep, that was because my full screen went away, and that's part of the problem that I've got to have to try to figure a way of dealing with.
This is kind of a weird way that Discord deals with things.
Yeah,
And
and
maybe there's a means of controlling that, but let's just say we're still in the experimentation stage.
yeah, exactly so.
Like college.
Kinda. So,
So thanks for sharing our experience.
Trippin says that I sound tin canny-ish. By the way, hi Trippin. Okay, let me explain how this is all working at the moment. In order to make the audio work correctly, I had to pipe the webcam audio into Discord, and my microphone, which is the one that's right here in front of me, is supposed to be going through for the streaming. Let me just check something. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so it would appear that my microphone setting is set incorrectly. let me... You know what? Hold on. One more second.
All right. While you're setting that, I can tell you one of the unique features of the headphones that I'm wearing is it allows me to actually adjust the audio that I'm hearing from voice communication software to another program. It was designed for video games, but it actually segregates between Discord and YouTube. And the quality that I'm hearing you come out of Discord and then alternating to what I'm hearing coming out of the YouTube channel are exactly the same. So at least in terms of broadcasting, you're not losing anything. Like whereas when we were in Hangouts, there was kind of a minor difference between the two.
Oh, so that's why I'm not hearing the audio through YouTube, because it's exactly synced. How is
No,
that possible?
YouTube is I don't know. I'm getting a 5-second delay on YouTube,
Okay, all right.
but I'm
Because I'm not
hearing
getting-
plenty of stuff through YouTube.
That's
Check your mixer,
fairly
dude.
normal.
Which might mean that Windows... Okay, so if I'm sounding... Let me try this. I'm going to turn the reverb all the way up on my microphone that's in front of my face a second. If this works correctly on the YouTube side, right now I should be incredibly reverberating if the audio is going out correctly, and that's back down again. If that reverb didn't happen, that means that everything that you guys are hearing is coming through the webcam at the moment. So the question is, what do we have?
Shit, internet apologists say.
Something like that. I know we've got a couple of seconds delay, so figure out which one it's going to be. That's a little bit more than 5 seconds. Tech, you still with me though, right? Okay. And
Yes, I'm seeing a 6-second delay right now.
okay. So did you get reverb on me?
I didn't really hear.
Oh, trust me, if it was there, you would have heard it. I mean, you've heard me on like the Friday, Wednesday shows when I turned the reverb.
Oh, you were trying for like a high reverb, like when you do like the voice of a deity kind of reverb.
Yeah, if it had been reverbing, I cranked it all the way up. You would have heard it. No
Do you
reverb.
want to give it one more shot?
No, Trippin's even saying there was no reverb.
Trippin said. Okay, so
So
I was trying to listen for something subtle.
no, I was cranking it completely up. All right, which means at the moment this microphone here is not coming through. So I'm gonna have to figure that part out. All right, which means that
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, if only. All right, which means that what you're listening to right now is how I sound coming through my webcam. It's not ideal. I thought that I was going to have to have the webcam audio go out to Discord and my good microphone stream out to YouTube. Obviously, not the case.
Oddly enough, the mic that you're using right now seems to be working a lot better, at least from my perspective, because the one you were using before, I don't know if it was like spiking and therefore kind of like cutting you, trying to like cut you down because of, you know, redlining or whatever, but you were cutting in and out for me pretty badly.
For cutting in and out, you mean under Hangouts?
Well, on Discord, you know, don't even have Hangouts up. I'm talking about the call that we are currently hosting on Discord.
He never cut out for me on Discord.
Well, earlier when he was talking, you know, it would do like this.
Okay, that's got nothing to do with my microphone at this point, and I'm
Could also be that I'm a cheap bastard with garbage bandwidth.
that's neither here nor there. It's just a matter that it could be just the way that it was coming through at the time. And forgive me, I'm trying to adjust my sound levels on the fly as I'm going along too. This is going to be one of those nights. Brilliant. Anyway, so the bottom line is, at least we can talk and kind of talk through things. And yeah, like I said, there are a number of other shows that have done pretty much the same thing that we had been doing, using Hangouts on Air, which was simple. This is kind of putting a little bit more of a kink in the way that everything's going to be going, because we pretty much agreed that we didn't want to be doing Skype, really.
No. But this thing, I get a good vibe about this Discord application. I think once you have everything set up, it's going to be pretty solid.
Yeah, and the bright side of it is, if things work the way that I'm expecting them to, we should not have any real issues on the technological side. There are still going to be some quirks with how to set up the show, because if I can't do it, I have to make sure that I get the information to Dalan so that he can do it. But again, there are going to be some quirks on how the hell this is supposed to happen. Again, piece here, piece there, and we'll figure it from there. As an aside, by the way, for those of you that are wondering what's going on with my webcam, that is zooming in, zooming out, readjusting, yeah, the Windows software for the webcam is weird that way. It does that. Just ignore the man in the big corner pocket there, I guess.
That's a setting to explore later when we're not live, but I think there's a one of those auto adjust checkmark boxes you can untick.
Yeah, probably.
And for the record, it was hypocritical me who proposed setting up a meeting during the week to test this out before we went live.
No, that's exactly the way that it should have gone. But we Dalan Tech and I were able to do some testing. We were able to make sure that everything was registered correctly through OBS, and that I would have the proper real estate as far as my display is concerned. Because right now I've got all of you guys on a full screen window on my left-hand monitor, which is fine, which is exactly right. But, it's a new beast. Yeah, it is. It is a different thing. And Trippin is saying that everyone's coming in clear. Actually, you know what? We can't really say that yet. Brigid, front and center, say hi to everybody so that we make sure that everybody is actually coming through correctly. Eventually, maybe.
Your mic's muted if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and I've got no control over those anymore, so yay, go me!
Yeah, you can't shut us up anymore.
Specifically, you're muted on this.
Oh, she said she'll be right back. That was a minute ago. She said it in the HCTV channel instead of in the chat here.
Okay.
Well, while we're waiting, can we get back to the burning question?
Tickle her feet? Come on,
that you never answered, Shujin?
Which would be which question?
Why is port and starboard, why are they called as they are?
I spent 4 of my 5 minutes explaining that.
There's also something, we have a vast repository of human knowledge that you can search because it's indexed. It's called Google.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been wanting to use that.
So let me get this straight. You rambled on for 5 minutes and you expected a Frenchman to actually listen to every word.
Oh, man. Shots fired off the starboard bow.
No, that was the port.
Oh, yeah, French. Wine.
Depends on which way it's turned.
I'm on the other side. I'm over here.
It'll be what it'll be. Anyway, as far as to why one is one the other, what I was saying is that on the right-hand side, that was the tiller. In Norwegian, it was the stjårnborði, and that's why it evolved into English being called the starboard.
Oh, that's going way back to the days when the rudder was outside the boat.
Yes.
It was basically an oar.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's what I was talking about for 5 minutes.
Starboard derives from the Old English stjårnborði.
Yes, which
I
derived
said
from
that
the
right.
Norwegian stjårnborði. And like I said, I know, I sound like the Swedish chef. Don't give me shit. Dalan, if you're listening and you're just cringing, I know.
Bork, bork,
I
bork.
know. He's going to give me all kinds of hell later, I know it.
Oh, somebody posted a picture on the internet of a mashup picture of the Swedish chef facing off against Gordon Ramsay. And underneath the caption, it says, "Shit just got real." And I'm going, I would pay to see that show.
Funny enough,
Except that actually happened.
yes, it did. And you can find that on
shit,
YouTube.
that was real?
Yes.
Oh, fuck this. I got to find that.
Yep. You know what? Considering that normally I would type a lot of stuff to our chat for just the hosts, every once in a while I would have some bits and pieces of information that I would put into the show notes. So I can't do that directly, but I can put little tidbits over in the group chat for the show for YouTube.
Found it.
You found it? Okay, I'll be able to track that down later when we're done.
I put the link in the chat for us.
Perfect. I'll be able to track that later then.
I have no idea what's going on now.
It's 6 minutes, 43 seconds long, and it's going to be real fun after the show.
Yep. So that's kind of the way that it's going to work. So
Okay. I have to say it because I saw it. Somebody put a comment on here about 10 months ago for the link that we'll end up putting in the show notes. But it says, Marvel Infinity War is the most ambitious crossover of all time. Muppets, hold my beer. I really wanted to watch this now. I'm sorry. I love the Swedish Chef. I absolutely love the Swedish Chef, if nobody has figured that out at this point.
this thing's telling me I need to set keyframes of 4 seconds or less. Where the hell?
What's telling you that?
I'm
Is
getting
that YouTube?
Yeah, I'm getting information from YouTube for live analytics. I will have to read that over a little later.
I was when you originally before we went live, when you were talking about the error message that you were receiving from YouTube, my initial searches came up with a whole lot of common problems apparently people are having with like their video codec, whatever what video codec they're using, resolution, bit stream for bit rate for audio. It seems to be like a very narrow window for a lot of this stuff. And it's like, if there's such a narrow window, why do some people when they stream on YouTube, it looks like, perfect, there's no loss of synchronicity, no frame drop, no nothing. It's just like perfect quality video. And then everybody else's looks like it was done like with a camcorder back in the 90s. I never got that.
Well, that's probably because they have a tech crew behind doing all this.
Maybe we need a red camera.
Or 6. And then pull them all together and then sync it all together, right? Yeah. No. Because
The red camera, are you referring to the big red?
Or making fun of a guy in a hat.
Oh god. Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, the one who asked for money donations for the red cameras, and then never actually spent the money on it.
How much was he asking for that? Because those things are
several
fucking
$1,000s.
Yeah, they're $7,000 a piece.
bottom of the line. I think they started around 7,200.
I am currently torn between whether or not my bandwidth is just that bad, which it really shouldn't be, or whether it's just the fact that my computer is that old.
My computer is 10 years old.
This rig has been running practically nonstop since 2007.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you've got 2 years on me.
Yeah, it could be. You know what? It's basically the first time for you in the new location. So, Are we going to have to iron stuff out? Yeah, we're probably going to have to iron stuff out. That's Just going to be the way that it is, man.
Now
And imagine
that I go ahead.
Yeah, I imagine your rig's a PC, so you've probably got a faster processor than mine.
Hmm.
I've got
Well-
2.68 gigabytes memory RAM. That's it.
Oh, you're talking RAM.
Well, RAM and the processor's 2.66 gigahertz.
Well, I've got about 4 times the RAM that you have. I don't know what my
Yeah, and
processor
that's, for
speed is.
streaming, that's absolutely necessary.
Run
But-
a Bellark report, send it to me, and I'll see what I could do to find like inexpensive ways to get much better performance.
Well, here's the thing. Now that I am gainfully employed, just pretty much gonna take a few months, save up, and just buy a whole new rig.
Fair enough. If you plan on building a rig, you're probably more than well familiar with PC Part Picker.
Oh, yeah. Build it.
Piece at a time.
I'm so
And go
you
Linux.
cut out. You cut out at the end there, Tech.
I said I think we've talked about it before. If you plan on building like a desktop system, you're more than likely already familiar with PCPartPicker.com.
Yeah, you got to PC and then cut out.
PC part picker.
It's in chat.
Never heard of it.
It's
I,
really cool.
I used to use Newegg a lot, but I can't anymore for reasons.
Fair enough. We'll deal.
Shu might actually know those reasons, but
I know those reasons.
that's neither here nor there.
But be that as it may, again, we're as everybody can tell, we're playing very loosey-goosey with the whole talk show thing, because this is really a matter of ironing out a lot of.
And to be fair, I apologize because as badly as you were cutting out, I have no idea what our topic is tonight.
No,
I don't have one.
Yeah, I intended to try the best that we could with figuring out what problems are we going to run into straight away. Who is everything working for? Will this even work correctly under full load? The only extra load at this point is waiting for Dalan to be able to join us, and one extra person I don't think is really going to cause any real problem. So
And he's not the shortest person in the world, so
no.
that's add a lot of load.
And according to this, it's telling me that right now I have 6% CPU usage at 30 frames per second, no dropped frames, everything's pumping out at the correct speed. So any problem that YouTube has got at this point is pretty much on them. So, whatever. Because I keep getting little things that says, hey, you've got a bad stream coming out to us. Yeah, screw you guys.
Normally, you're in Linux, right? You're in Ubuntu.
I'm in MS Windows 10 right now.
Oh, okay. But normally you run on Ubuntu, no?
Correct.
You have a dual boot
And-
system?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Physically
Because,
separate hard
normally-
drives.
If in Ubuntu, there's a way to force a pipe, to force it open instead of.
I had actually taken the time and tried to experiment with Ubuntu myself. Only to find out that the rig that I put it on, which calling it a rig is being far too generous, it's just a cheap little Toshiba netbook from basically the early 2000s. I found out that apparently even Ubuntu has minimum system requirements, which this netbook just does not seem to adhere to.
The basic install, yeah, but you can get around that by you have to compile your own with packages.
Yeah,
But
and
Forget
that's a pain
forget
in the ass.
exactly what version it was, but it was like, what was it?
could be.
Angry Marmoset or something?
Angry Marmoset?
That's not one of them that it would have
That's
been.
the naming. That's the naming culture for Ubuntu's various versions.
Well,
Well,
sort
there was
of.
Trusty, and then there was I don't know what they're on now.
Bionic Badger, I think.
I honestly don't remember what one it was, but I remember it was a small Weasley creature, and
Yeah,
It was behaving accordingly.
Yeah, there are other ones that have got lower system requirements, but that's, again, another thing for later. And considering the age of it, it's probably not much to worry about right now anyway. I mean, shit, my netbook is still working, but then again, I mean, I got that netbook in, 2007 or 8? So, it's showing its age. I mean, hell, Box over here could technically go away, but I don't feel like spending a whole bunch of money to get a Threadripper machine yet. Later. Maybe one of these days later.
Well, just keep backups of your if your present configuration is important to you, just keep daily backups. That's all.
Yep.
Because this machine I'm on, I'm expecting it to die any day now, and I've already got a backup machine. I just have to reboot from the backup disk, and I'm good to go.
Fair enough. Where is my thing? It says... Oh, good. I do actually have a timer that tells me how long you've been live. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, this whole configuration is completely different. It's going to drive me... I would like to say it's going to drive me to drink, but that's not the case. Oh, and as an aside, for some people that are watching and are kind of... All right, you're probably not thinking about it, but be that as it may. Yes, we're...
Over.
No. It's worse than that. It's actually much more manic. That I do have my webcam video of myself in the top right-hand corner, and where my webcam would be for the rest of the hosts, in the section over here, there it is, would be down the bottom. The one that's got the bat pony. Yeah, that's mine. Shut up. Leave me alone. But it's better for me not to be trying to send video and buffering to the rest of the guys, because the way that this operates, it's basically a whole bunch of, if I've understood the technology correctly, it's a bunch of simultaneous peer-to-peer connections, which is a little nuts. Yeah.
Also might explain my situation.
It could be. Could be. That's why I'm trying to be really careful about it. So right now, Tech is the only one that's got video out to us, which ends up helping so that I can full screen that and show everything on the screen for everybody correctly. And everybody's got their titles and be able to see about, new fonts for everybody's name later.
And by the way, my name is spelled with an F, but...
Like I said, I was panicking with a whole bunch of stuff trying to get things organized, and I didn't fix it.
But no problem.
There are things that I have to fix. For instance, Brigid's name really needs to have a proper Brigid Fitch. I did not put that there. Joey's should have a proper Joey the Bastard or something like that. I don't know. The figurative the titles are going to be later.
Just for fun, you can put it for my name. You can put as Yusuf.
How would you like that spelled?
Youssef, which is Joseph in Arabic.
There. How's that?
You could spell mine Joseph like Stalin. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, that's
all of you to the salt mines.
There. So I can actually change it on the fly, and I did. There you go. How's that?
And now my computer stopped responding.
That's okay.
The computer does not like that.
No. Now it does.
Computer says no.
So, yeah, as probably as folks at this point have probably learned to understand. Yeah, I've really been panicking over trying to get this working. This has been one of those things that it was fine the way that it was. Hangouts required nothing special, a plug-in for Chrome, and then that was it, and we were good. Now, they threw everything into a tizzy. Whole bunch of shows are all scrambling to try to figure out how to do this. And my God, wouldn't this be such a great opportunity for some group to put out a new peer-to-peer to YouTube streaming set? Geez, wouldn't that be nice? IP telephony, and then build in the streaming from like OBS. Actually, wait a minute. Wait, is OBS open source?
I think it is.
Yeah. In which
Is there
case,
a programmer in the house? Is there a programmer in the house?
I'm sure that there would be.
Raising hands? That's what I do for a living.
No, you just got volunteered
Oh, to do what?
to redesign OBS so that it's an all-in-one streaming service.
Okay. Now, I'm looking up exactly what it is, and as soon as I open up Safari, your voices all start to get changed.
You got 2 weeks. Get her done.
2 weeks.
I know. I'm being lenient.
OBS Studio. I think I even have it installed.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. And Stephanie is saying that, Joseph, your audio is a little on the faint side. It could just be a matter of that's what he's pumping out. Automatic gain control is usually on for Discord, so
it is on, actually. But I can turn up my microphones. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that might be just a little bit better at this point.
Louder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about it just now. That I don't think that I can do the setup the way that I thought that I could, with splitting the microphone so that the webcam could go out to Discord and my microphone could go out to the streaming, because Windows doesn't allow you to do that. You can only have one audio source active at any one time, if I remember right.
You can have two, but you have to install something. I went through all this with Heretic Woman, actually, with her setup, because she needed to record at the same time as she streamed, and she wanted to be able to play video through the channel at the same time. So it's super complicated, but you can set up a virtual port.
Yeah, and
where you can have twin streaming. We can go through that. Well, okay, let's set up a date later this week and we'll go through it together if you want.
No, I don't want to be playing around with that right now.
No, later this week.
No, I mean even later this week. I don't want to be playing with this right now. I've got enough on my plate. I want to be able to make sure that I've got this at least started. And whatever the hell it is that's going on with the microphone right now, if I can just run the one microphone, which apparently I can, fine. And then I can just figure out why the webcam microphone was the only one that was being picked up and switch it over to the good one.
Okay, on my end, I've got OBS installed. I'll just do a spin around and just give you whatever I can. If I find anything, I'll let you know. Okay?
Yeah, I don't think there's very much that can be really tinkered with, but who knows? Maybe somebody's got something. We'll figure it out. It's gonna be one of those nights, Brigid, you can laugh anytime you feel like it at this point, because crying is just so 2000s,
I'm just hanging
I know.
loose.
I know. And Stephanie's even saying that Beth could do with help. Yeah, I know. Beth and I were Beth and I were kind of talking a little bit and trying to figure out who's going to be trying out what, and she was trying something called 10, I think. I forget what it was, but they're trying, they're working at it. Beth over there, by the way, at Beyond the Trailer Park.
We could talk about Google actually, because I've had a long experience with them. And do you remember their motto used to be, what was it? Don't do evil or don't be evil?
Don't be evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've kind of thrown that to the
They
wind.
actually took. They used to have it in writing. Don't be evil.
Yep.
And then they took it out of the writing.
You know, like they're dropping Google Hangouts, just like, you know, see what a snafu it is for us. But I mean, I can't tell you how many times in the past I've developed with their tools, like for example Google Docs, Google Maps, their API and all that. Because before I used to be able to create my own maps from my own source material, and then they said, oh, okay, you can't do that anymore. You have to use Google Docs and get your data from there. And then they had Google Data, and they dropped that as well. So basically, I lost about, I guess, altogether a year's work because they just kept on dropping their services almost as soon as they started them.
See? That's why you never save things to a cloud. Always have a hard drive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to...
No, because at the time, Google Maps was the best thing out there for displaying maps. And that actually motivated me to start up my own GIS server.
There you go.
Yes. Okay.
And for those of you that are who are thinking, yeah, the whole don't save anything to a cloud. Yeah, that's kind of part of the reason why I keep getting CDs when I go to a secondhand store, because yes, it might be a pain in the ass to re-rip everything afterwards, but yeah, it's nice to be able to say, I've got my physical copies, thank you very much. I don't have to worry about a download streaming server. I don't have to worry about somebody saying, well, you only licensed the music that you bought from us, so we're cutting you off now. DRM, you know, it's... Screw that noise.
DRM. How quaint.
There are ways around that.
Yeah.
Hence my statement.
Yep. Man, can you imagine if somebody were able to get DRM onto vinyl? Man.
Well, if you don't have a way to, if you only have one record player, then it's technically DRM protected because you don't have the other record player to make the copy.
Ooh, but I've got a cassette deck.
Yep.
I still have mine. I also have my Sony mini disc player that has the ability to have digital audio input from another Sony digital mini disc player, because when they first made them, they didn't count on people having too many disc players and doing a direct digital to digital audio reproduction between the two devices. So in later editions of their units, they disabled that feature.
Okay. I remember I had a direct, I could copy a cassette, and and I could do it at 7 times the speed or something crazy like that.
Yep. Yep, my first boombox, that's exactly what I could do. A high-speed dub from one to the other. And then I remember that some CD companies were trying to put special locks so that you put it into your computer, and the computer would know that you're not supposed to rip it to your computer. And then some people were just like, what's the best way that we can solve this problem for ourselves? Well, here, you just get a couple of these little headphone jacks, and one into your computer, one into your portable CD player, and then, well, boom, done. Not that I would ever advocate for creative acquisition of music. That would be wrong.
Yeah, well, Microsoft kind of pissed me off with their DRM shit anyway.
Kinda.
Well, Specifically, there was a game I used to play way back when. Some of you may have heard of it. Mech Warrior 4.
4.
I remember that one.
I've still got the CDs for Mech 2 because I was selling it once upon a time ago.
I had Mech. The first one that I had played was Mech Warrior 3, but disc kind of got snapped.
Oops.
Kinda?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in any case, Mech Warrior 4 apparently does not work on any version of Windows after XP because, I mean, you can install it, sure, but the disk will never play the actual game because the DRM in the disk doesn't recognize any of the newer operating systems.
Great. That's just great.
So in order to play it, you have to download a
Emulator?
no, a patch that somebody had developed. But here's the thing, they only developed it for one of the later expansions of the game, which means that's the only version of the game you can ever play. You can never play like just the base vanilla game or anything of that sort.
Joy. No, it is what it is. Brigid, you got anything to bitch about at this point? I mean, I'm sorry. I may have just opened up Pandora's box.
Welcome back.
I'm just tired of all the freaking racism from Cheeto and company.
Oh, I can talk about that on my
And
end.
it just gets so, I mean, it's just so blatant. It's just ridiculous. And people are still going, but he's not a racist. And I'm like, in whose world?
30% of people here in France are voting for the fucking FN, the right party. And I spent all week going through trying to deal with French administration. For an Iranian friend of mine, it's a guy who's been living here in France since he was 14. He's got 2 doctorates in biology, and he studied and was a researcher at the Kremlin Bicêtre, the hotel here. So, like, we just know each other like that. We're just friends, right? So you don't get a sense of what these people go through. But going to the administration with him, the reaction you would get to him, yeah, people were openly, blatantly rude because he looks like an Arab.
Yeah.
Joy.
And there's a lot of, with all the sanctions against Iran, but I was totally against him going back there. But anyways, because, I mean, like, he's been here since he's 14, so let's just say he's not very Iranian in his head. But yeah, this week is a trial, and today I have to negotiate probably all day. Yeah, kind of a workaround so that he can retain his residence permit here. With somebody who doesn't want to take any risks because he's Iranian, which is somebody who's known him just as long as I have. So there's also a good dose of paranoia on top of that.
Yeah.
For what
Okay, that's my rant.
For what it's worth, by the way, Brigid, I'm catching up on some old shows because, you know, just yes, I'm vain. I listen to myself a lot. What are you gonna do? Sue me. One of the things that we were talking about at that point was the at that point relatively new bill that had gotten signed on, where I believe it was an 11-year-old was going to be basically forced to have a baby because grandmother's boyfriend got her pregnant. And
Holy shit.
yeah, that was tough to re-listen to. And, you know, I didn't get the opportunity to see if I could figure out who it was or when exactly that was and what's happened since then about this. I'm kind of wondering if you recall anything about that, or if you know anything that's kind of happened on that overall front, or do we just need to go out there and burn the shit down?
I think we just need to go burn the shit down. People need to be in the streets. They should have been in the streets a long time ago.
No argument there. It's annoying. It really is.
Well, and it just, there's so much of it that it's just, you know, one more thing and one more thing and one more thing. And I think we're all getting fatigued from it.
Oh, shit,
to
yeah.
Where we're getting outrage burnout because everything is just so outrageous. And when you think he can't top himself, he does. And it's, you know, daily.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
But in other news, there are enough Democrats in the House now that are willing to go for articles of impeachment.
And therein lies the problem. Do you do the right thing, or do you do the futile thing?
Well, it might be futile, but if they do nothing, then that sets a dangerous precedent for the next person.
True that.
If they can get away with anything, you know?
Yep. That was one of the things that in that particular episode, I believe, I was talking about. Or it might have been one of the other ones, I don't remember. But the idea of, you know, when these mofos get out of hand like this, somebody needs to slap them, and slap them hard. And that's not something that we end up doing.
Well, I think there's starting to be some blowback. I know on Twitter there were a couple of tags that were making the rounds this week. Moscow Mitch and Leningrad Lindsay.
Yeah. History is not going to look very nicely on a lot of these folks, and I want to live long enough to see the new history books. I want to live long enough to see the new history books and what they do.
Somebody even invented a Moscow Mitch drink.
Yeah, I saw that. Some Kentucky bourbon, some vodka, and a couple of twists of orange rind, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
See, I won't drink that shit, but I pay attention to it.
I thought it was clever.
Yep. See, I have to, as an inside, by the way, for you guys that are watching, since I can't send my video stream out to the other guys, I have to keep reminding myself that whatever emoting that I'm doing, they don't see. Only you guys who are on YouTube get to see me emoting at this point, which I kind of have to remind myself. That's right. I have to actually be like an actual voice, and that's how I need to talk through stuff. These great. I mean, I've only been doing that on Friday night shows for how freaking long? You'd think I'd actually understand how to do this?
You know how to do it.
I'll figure it out. You know what? We've got some time with stuff. Let me find your thing over here. I've got crap tons of fonts to play with. Yeah, let me go ahead and see what I've got. Brigid, what kind of a font would you like for your name? Right now, I've got everybody using like this Star Trek generic font. You want something nice and simple, like just plain Jane Arial?
I really
Just
don't care.
don't use Comic Sans, whatever you
Yeah,
do.
don't do Comic Sans. That would be awful.
I might.
No.
I've got a CD with 2002 fonts on them somewhere. I should find that. Oh, there it is. Comic Sans. Yeah, no, you're right. I shouldn't do that.
Should not do that.
Look around. You want something that makes you look kind of I don't know. Oh, look at that typewriter. I don't know. Oh, something that looks like handwriting. Huh. How nifty. Well, you know what? Screw it. I'll deal with all this later. Nobody can see what's going on. Anyway, actually, wait a minute. Can I move this over here? Oh, they might be able to see what's going on at this point. I don't know. Let me see. If I move this over here and the font selector over there. Oh, I can do that and have people see it. I don't want to do that. Never mind. I'll just leave that all. I'll just leave that all there. That's all good. You can figure it out over here. So, I don't know. We'll figure all this stuff out. Ryan, hi. See you over there. Oh, there was something that I guess maybe we could kind of talk through a little bit because we didn't get the talk time, before the show, which we were kind of planning on a little bit. Joey had made a motion on the floor for me yesterday, and wanted to talk about it. And you know what, we can put it out there, see what the guys think, and I don't know,
Well,
pitch it anyway.
The problem with it now is that my brain was in a different place yesterday, and I had a good mental image of what it was that I wanted to do with it. And right now, I don't. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, because there was a special way that I wanted to do this. But my mental picture is currently just static.
Okay. What Joe had pitched to me was the idea of, well, is there any way that we could do like a real quick wrap-up of the news headlines for the past week or so to kind of show what's been going on before moving on to like the real thing, or maybe talk about a particular item sometime. And I'm personally not sure how something like that would work because of the way that, format-wise. I mean, there are those nights where it's just, you know what, I don't care, bring whatever you want, bitch about whatever you want, and talk about whatever you want. And those would be those opportunities as far as I was thinking about it. But for what it's worth, I figured, you know what, it was your overall pitch there, so I don't know how well I re-encompassed it. That's not a word.
Well, earlier this week, did anybody happen to notice that it was 75 freaking degrees at the North Pole?
Wait, what?
It was 75 degrees at the North Pole. And it's been in the upper 60s and low 70s for like 10 days now, and raining.
That's not normal. That's not.
Nope.
No, that's not normal.
Do that.
That's where we're at.
It's fair to say that it was warmer there than it was on Mars. So there you go. You got that going for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, am I picking on somebody? Yes, yes, I am. And,
Yeah, I was kind of stunned. I was like, yeah, that's freaking warm.
Okay, hold on.
yes, sir.
What? Hold on a second.
All right, while you're doing whatever it is, Stephanie's saying there was a lake at the North Pole. Ryan is, damn, that's much warmer than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie's got arguably the craziest and scariest part. Maybe that is the new normal.
Including
Yeah.
the forest fires that happen up at the Arctic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea that there will be a forest in the Arctic is a scary enough piece.
But you see, here's the thing: if you ask the believers, in that about that, it's it's going to be all right because whatever happens, it's God's will. Or you get the other people who say, well, we've only been recording our climate for so long and we don't know what's happened before that. So therefore, this could be all normal. And we just don't know it.
Brigid,
I smell bullshit.
you're saying that it is currently 63 degrees at the North Pole, correct?
I don't know if it's currently 63. I'll have to check. But it was 75 when I checked at lunch Wednesday.
Are you perfectly sure that you are not confusing the geographical North Pole with North Pole, Alaska? Because they are not one and the same.
The geographical North Pole was like 58 and raining 2 weeks ago. But if you go look at the temperatures on Greenland, yeah, I mean it's not good. They've lost I forgot how much it was, like 2/3 of their ice sheet recently. Just
All right, let's have a look.
Yeah, and I just pulled it up myself. The North Pole, Alaska, yeah, is in the low 60s. Hold on a second. It was 63 Fahrenheit, 17 Celsius. But again, that's North Pole, Alaska.
Oh, for crying out loud. I am so very tired of this happening.
Well, just do like what the naysayers are doing. Ignore it.
Not that. I'm very tired of my computer just randomly freezing up for no reason.
Yet I'm trying to find the information. You know, it is surprisingly difficult to Google for what is the temperature at the North Pole and get the right answer. Because it comes up and says, oh, well, that's North Pole, Alaska. No.
no, this is Nunavut. And it's in Celsius, 11 Celsius right now.
North Pole. Here we go. Today, Sunday, 6 to 12 is 1. I don't know if that's Fahrenheit or Celsius. It doesn't tell me.
On this one in Nunavut, it's Celsius. $11. So what's 11 Celsius?
It's 55 degrees Fahrenheit in London. It's 69 degrees Fahrenheit in New York.
Holy balls. I'm pulling it up for myself right now.
Currently, there are expected showers in Kathmandu. Cat gonna get wet.
Holy shit. Yeah. None of it. 15 Celsius. 59 Fahrenheit.
That's not normal.
No. No, it's not. And according to this, the weather report for the foreseeable week puts it a roughly 50 Fahrenheit. 15, hold on, 10, 11, roughly 11 Celsius. Shit. I'm trying to look up the normal weather for them up there. Climate. 1981 to 2010 extremes. Where the hell are we? We are in August. Record high of 27?
Damn.
That is a record high humidex of 27 Celsius. Record high 25, almost 80 degrees. Their normal average should be 10.5 Celsius, 51 Fahrenheit. So they're close to average highs, but still, shit. And these are the same idiots that we have to talk about, who are the ones that bring in snowballs from outside and say, look at how global warming is just working for everybody.
Yeah, or we could use some, because look at this, it's cold.
Sorry, I was missing all the stuff that was talking. Tripp was just saying, not just forest fires, the tundra that should be frozen still is starting to catch fire. Underground fires can last months.
Yep.
That's from a different cause. I forget what the name of it is. I think it's the gateway to hell, the doorway to hell. I forget what it's called, which is an underground fire that's been going for decades. Because somebody said...
What was it, West Virginia?
Something like that. It basically is a giant coal deposit underground. And they said, yeah, we'll just burn some of it and just get rid of it. They didn't realize it was going to last for literally decades upon decades upon decades. And it's still going till this day.
Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, what did they nickname it? The gate to hell? No, I'm quite serious.
I know, but that's just ironic.
It's like rain. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, the peat bogs that are on fire is what's really awful.
Yeah, funny enough, Stephanie had just put that. The tundra is basically peat and will burn for years.
Yeah.
Centralia, Pennsylvania began burning May 27th, 1962, and is still burning.
Wow.
Yeah, that reminds me of back when Saturday Night Live used to still be funny. Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. Some people still remember those days.
Now, granted, it's no longer burning anywhere near the surface, so it's hardly noticeable, but there is still fire.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. I'm feeling like Chevy Chase right about now. I should grab a piece of paper. This just in.
You know, If you ask James, what's his name? Hetfield from Metallica. Fire bad, fire bad.
Let's see. In 1984, Congress allocated more than $42 million for relocation efforts. In 1992, Pennsylvania Governor Bob Casey invoked eminent domain on all properties in the area, condemning them.
Yep. And rightly so.
And in 2002, the United States Postal Service revoked Centralia's zip code.
Yep. Yep, I remember about that. That was one of those few times where I'm not a great fan of a lot of, sweeping legislation that gets done in governments, but this is one of those times where I was able to just sit back and go, you know what? Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Let's see.
Health and welfare? Yeah.
2012, a handful of residents in Centralia lost their appeal of a court decision upholding eminent domain proceedings and were ordered once again to leave. State and local officials reached an agreement with the 7 remaining residents on October 29, 2013, allowing them to live out their lives there, after which rights to their properties would be taken through eminent domain.
There's a certain point. There's a certain point.
The town of Burnsville, Pennsylvania,
ironically
was Byrne. A few miles south, had been abandoned and leveled. Yeah, nothing newer on that.
I don't think there's much to do. I mean, what are they going to do? Fly a helicopter overhead and dive bomb it with water? Ooh, well, actually, that would be interesting. Get a couple Chinooks, drop a whole shit ton of baking soda, and then follow it up with a big old vat of vinegar, and then put it out that way. That would work.
Yeah, if it doesn't go sploosh first.
Yeah.
Might foam up a little bit.
The article was posted May 2018, last year. Still burning after 65 years. And expected to continue burning for as many as 250 years.
Is still dead. Yeah, that's kind of the way it's going to work.
I'm not dead yet.
You will be in a minute. 250 years or so.
Think I'll go for a walk now.
Yeah.
So yes, that confirms it. It's still burning.
Yep.
I know there's probably...
There's probably what?
There's probably a few folks out there that are probably thinking, well, why don't we just redirect a lake or river or reservoir or something over there and just do that to put it out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what happens to superheated rock when it's suddenly hit with cold water?
Bad things happen, man. Bad things happen.
Boom! Well, it depends on the composite of the rock. Some will actually break. Others will go kablooey.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Old Faithful. That'll show you some of the stuff that could happen. And that might not be necessarily a lot of good.
We have come up with no means to safely put it out. And trust me, we've had some of the best minds over the last better half of a century working on it.
Small tactical warhead.
Now,
we could do worse.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Use a large one.
There is something that might work. However, it's pretty easy to see why they haven't implemented anything like this. It has been proven through military testing that if you have a uncontrollable fire in an enclosed tunnel network, for example, setting off explosives can starve out the fire.
Okay.
Here's the problem with it. We're not talking about a tunnel network. We're talking about a mine. A very large, vast, and expansive mine, which has only grown as more and more of the coal has burned over the decades.
Yeah, that's true.
Which means you're going to need a very big bomb.
Yeah, I believe the old expression is the cure is worse than the disease.
And it's understandable to know, to look at how averse local citizens might be to a nuclear device being detonated in their backyard, so to speak.
Can't imagine why.
But even the largest conventional bomb that we currently have at our disposal, the Moab, would probably be insufficient and, again, would probably do more harm than good. For example, I don't know, spewing tons of already burning coal over a very coal-rich region.
Yep. Not to mention, who only knows how much gassing would come out of all that. But, don't know. Plenty of other people that are more versed in this stuff than me. That's for damn sure. But Ryan had the right idea, by the way, as far as to what could possibly go wrong. Sure, bad fire, boom. Yeah, I think we pretty well agree with them on that one. And Joseph, welcome back. Believe it or not, I do get updates when our chat goes off over in the bottom corner for me. So if I do hear the little notice, I can take a look over and see what's being said. So I guess I do have some measure of keeping up as to what's going on.
Oh, you saw that
course.
before, no?
Can't really give Pennsylvania any shit because, I'm now in Ohio, right next door, and we set an entire fucking river on fire.
And you are now upwind, not downwind, so you can do whatever you want to them and screw. It's kind of the same way that Newark is, pumping all that wonderful smell over to Manhattan, because upwind, downwind.
Why
sorry.
does it seem like...
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Among state features, why is it that New Jersey has all the garbage and California has all the lawyers?
I know what the answer is.
New Jersey got first pick.
And Ryan is even saying, hey, I'm in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So was I!
Yeah. Joey's evolved, however, so, just keep that in mind. Just a thought.
Look, I've got nothing terribly coarse against Pennsylvania, other than the fact that they decided to increase taxes on my cigarettes by about 250% over the course of 4 years because they needed to do work to the Pennsylvania Turnpike, because everybody knows that only smokers use the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
I don't know.
Right? Because that's the only way you could really justify taxing a specific group of people for a project like that.
Well, smokers and the furries, come Anthrocon season. So just the thought.
I don't even
And-
think
and the-
furries. I don't even think the furries get on the turnpike.
And they don't want to do something like I don't know, a gas tax, maybe. God forbid.
But no.
We don't want to cut into those petrol company profits.
Other than that, I really don't have anything against the state of Pennsylvania. I just couldn't continue living in Pittsburgh. Why? Because I drive a stick.
Personally, I miss it. But
What does
yeah,
that
but
to do
stop
with-
and go traffic, it sucks.
It doesn't matter what the traffic's like, because plain and simple, if you drive a manual and you're in Pittsburgh, say goodbye to your clutch.
Why?
Well, for one thing, Pittsburgh, I believe. You know what?
there are a lot of
I'm
hills.
going to-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of like where I live. There are north to south travel is real easy where I live out here, western New York.
Okay.
East to west, yeah, you got a bit of a problem because you got a lot of hills.
Forgive me, because I am borrowing this one from Fox News. But why would I not want to live in Pittsburgh driving stick shift? Well, consider this. Where is it? There it is. Filbert Street in San Francisco, California. 31.5% gradient. 6th steepest in the world. Not a hard not pass in Cumbria, England. 33% gradient. Eldred Street, Los Angeles, California. 33% gradient. Waipio Road in Noka, Hawaii. I'm not Hawaiian, I'm sorry. 37% gradient. Baldwin Street in Dunedin, New Zealand. 35% gradient. You want to guess where in the world is the highest percent gradient public street?
The one I grew up on.
Right outside your front door.
Canton Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 37% gradient. And guess what? At the top of it is a stop sign.
That's hilarious.
No, having a stop sign at the top isn't hilarious. If there was a stop sign somewhere in the middle of that gradient to the bottom of it all, that would be because of the winters. Remember,
And
physics.
what's even better? It's not even paved. It's cobblestone.
Sure, why not?
Ooh, imagine taking that on a skateboard.
No.
There isn't a sidewalk beside this road. There's a stairway.
No, man, no, just no. Just no.
That's just one of the public roads in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And that is why I recently had to replace my clutch. Unfortunately, they didn't bleed the master cylinder because it's a hydraulic clutch. They didn't bleed the master cylinder properly, so now I got this big fat air bubble in my master cylinder. I've got to dismantle my entire clutch line and bench bleed it. Still not as big of a hassle as, swapping out the actual clutch, because that requires taking down the transmission.
But on the bright side, nothing's going to go boom, as in, like, explode in the middle of being used, right?
Yes. Fun fact, in New Zealand, they have an annual event called the Cadbury Chocolate Carnival. where they have what's called giant Jaffas, which are apparently the New Zealander equivalent of the Terry's chocolate orange.
Okay.
They take 30,000 of them and roll them down the street. Baldwin Street, the 35%, the second steepest road in the world.
Okay.
Why did he do this?
Well, at least they'll crack open at the end of it.
That's
In
good.
fact,
Yeah, Joe, there's a good question on the floor for you. Why?
because they're New Zealanders. Fucking Kiwis. Anyway,
So it's genetic? What?
fun fact, the reason why Pittsburgh's Canton Avenue is cobblestone is because they could not pave it. It's so steep. Baldwin in New Zealand is so steep that they could not pave it with asphalt. They had to pave it with concrete.
Jeebus. Yeah, it tells you something right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like a good place for a ski lift.
I like that idea.
Now you are a little bit wiser. Whether it's going to help you, I don't know. But if you drive a stick, steer clear of Pittsburgh.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything in particular that we should cover at this point for just a couple of moments. Truth be told, right now I'm kind of coming down from the total stress panic, so I'm a little test patterned out right now. So I don't know. Anybody wants to talk about something in particular for a couple of minutes before I just go ahead and close up shop?
Well, we'll get all these things ironed out.
Well, yeah.
For me personally, I've got half an hour to do the 3 S's, and I have to be across town by 9 o'clock.
Well, it's
to
okay.
the country.
Yeah, because I'm planning on just getting us on out of here in relatively short term, which will give you plenty of time for that. So, yay.
All right. Would you mind if I signed off now?
Not a worry at all. It's going to make it a little bit interesting for me to rearrange everything on the screen. Not that big
Typical Frenchman quitting the fight before it's over.
It's all good.
Oh, there was a fight?
There is now. Anyway.
Well,
hey,
at least the audience has something to look forward to next week.
Fair
To be
enough.
continued.
Truly.
If we're going to go with World War II stereotypes, at least you can go ahead and pin this one in your cap. Italy simply just has no follow through. They never really start what they or finish what they start, do they?
I only live here, and I finish everything I start. So.
I was talking about Italy.
Oh, Italy. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, just spreading it out. Okay, great. Yeah.
See?
Civil of you.
Italy quits so early in the war that, we don't even think about them anymore.
Well, at least he didn't bring up the cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Really?
All right, you guys all take care. And, yeah, well, looking forward to next week. I'm sure we'll get all this.
So am I. You take care of yourself.
In the meantime,
good luck.
We'll sort this out, okay?
Yes, sir.
We'll figure something out. Who knows? We might stumble across a newer
we'll come up with something.
Chat.
Yeah, but OBS looks pretty cool. I mean, it all looks pretty cool.
Yep. We'll figure it from there.
We might stumble across a different chat service none of us have ever heard of before that works beautifully for what we needed to do.
Oh, and if anybody's listening, maybe some other podcasters. Well, it'd be kind of interesting to find out what they're doing as the solution for
Agreed.
Google's.
Yeah, I imagine the hullabaloo with Hangouts probably hasn't gone over too well with many podcasters.
Many.
We'll
Many.
figure it.
Yeah.
But in any case, do have yourself a good morning. Thank you for your time. And
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you.
You too, huh? All right. You guys take care, man.
Till later, man. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao. So now I get to move everybody's name around. Oh. Actually, quite not so much. Okay, so Joey goes over there. Tech's name stays there. Brigid stays there. That's fine. And I can move all this stuff on the fly. Yay! That's great. So we'll figure it from there. So yeah. So anything in particular for any of you guys that you wanted to get off your chest that's, newsworthy or just cuz?
I'm
The
good.
news. Oh, go ahead, Bridge.
I'm good. You go ahead.
All right, I was going to say the newsworthy event that I want to talk about. We still are waiting there's still a lot of details to be uncovered and see how other things are handled before I actually want to comment on it. I'm talking about El Paso.
Yeah.
I want more info first.
I'm not the only one that's expecting that it's going to be another matter of, well, it's too soon to talk about X.
Oh, yeah. The second I heard the news, I was like, oh, great. You're going to have the one side who are actually being nice, considerate, loving, empathic in nature.
All
And
right,
then
you
the
want
other
news?
ones who are going to say, oh, we can't do this. It's inconsiderate, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with you people. You guys need to just shut up and sit down.
Joe, you were going to say?
You want world news? I'll give you world news. Over 300 people arrested in Moscow protesting for fair elections. In other news, in completely unrelated news, Siberian provincial census finds the population steadily climbing.
I see what you did there. I see. Anyway. So the way that this is all kind of played out, like it says on the tin, try to check to see how this is all going to work out. And
okay, I think I found something that we might just rant about for the rest of the show.
Well,
ow. Okay, sorry. Yeah, the audio is messing up on my end, and Shujin's well there just came through my headset. One moment. Are my ears bleeding?
Could be. I don't know. Anywho.
Ugandan activist gets 9 more months in jail for a poem about a vagina.
Aha.
The fuck?
Well, don't know. Don't know what he was in for in the first place. It could be that he's been convicted of, let's say. Let me pitch this idea. If this was somebody that was in jail, convicted of, let's say, child rape, I could see this being reason to hold somebody a little bit longer. As an example.
Well, Stella Niazi, a Ugandan feminist and activist, was sentenced to 9 additional months in prison for publishing a metaphorical poem about the birth of President Yoweri
Pass.
Museveni
Just pass.
and his mother's vagina. She was found guilty of cyber harassment. She was given an 18-month sentence originally and has already served 9 months in Luzira Women's Prison after publishing the verse that the magistrate Gladys... Fuck me.
Just pass. Just pass.
Kamasanyu.
Joe, just pass.
Says, okay.
It comes down to... I'm sorry. This is starting to sound way too much like somebody just pitching a fit because somebody went ahead and just was taking the piss at him. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a national pastime over here.
Yeah, kind of has become that, hasn't it? Oh, and my apologies. Like I said earlier, the stress panic is really falling off now, and I'm sorry. I reacted poorly, and I went a little bit too much. So I'm sorry. I didn't realize I did that in the moment.
You're fine, Shu. You're okay, buddy.
I try, but you know, this is one of those moments where, yeah, shit, just I don't like trying to play with new stuff when it doesn't work the way it's supposed to right out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it is.
It's one of those things that if we're going to go anywhere with it, I need to do a better job of developing it. Get it set up before the show starts. Get a script.
I don't know why. I mean, it's not like I put together a script.
No, that would be my job.
Meh. Figure it from there. All right. If there's nothing else to hit, Tech, nothing in particular for you to specifically just...
Nothing I want to touch on at this time.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just going to go ahead and close this now. I know it's early than what we normally would do, but truth be told,
Today was just a live dress rehearsal.
Yeah, of sorts. At least we know stress-wise, one video coming in, I can handle that with everybody with voice, and I do see now that there are a couple of things that I can do a little bit differently. For instance, I could actually have an opening and closing slate to put into place, which is going to make it a little bit more tricky because apparently I could do that on the YouTube settings directly also, which is a pain in the ass because it's like, great, now what do I do?
Huh.
I had a hard enough time just getting the damn thing streaming in the right place. Whatever.
We also know that you need at least one video presenting to get the layout that we have going on in the window. Otherwise, it just reverts back to a Discord display.
Yeah, which is not what I want. But hey, that's good. That gives us something that we can work off of.
But on a positive, I mean, if I end up filling the role of mostly being the one who broadcasts the one, and I need to basically shut down my monitor feed or my video feed, I don't have to actually push any buttons. I can just take this nice little cap that came right included, and boom, look, I disappear. Get to see that lovely little background. Cap is back up. It's me again.
Yeah, could do that, or
Mm-hmm.
you're good.
Yeah.
You could. Anyway,
I have a magic act. I can make myself disappear. I got feet.
I was gonna say, actually, I could go ahead and do that for you, and then I realized, oh shit, no, I can't on this. I don't have I don't have that capacity. Joy. All right. It'll
happy, joy, happy.
it'll
joy.
be what it'll be. And like I said, the aesthetic wise, as far as to changing out all the fonts for all of our names, I can deal with that all later. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But that's a minor. When all is said and done, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I guess we'll just call it at this point, because I'm really starting to fuzz up in the head, and this is not a good place for me to be. And I did not have any alcohol tonight. I had Tang, and that's it. Although I will go ahead and I will say this: dinner was great. For those of you that saw my personal stuff, yeah, that was very good dinner. Ribs, and I may let somebody know about that later, because I know somebody who would probably be really interested. But we'll see about that later. I'm not gonna name names, at least not on air. There's reasons, but trust me, it'll be worthwhile. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for being with us through this, whatever the hell this was tonight. Yeah, this is weird. But seriously, if you stuck it out with us, really thank you, because getting to see how this is supposed to play out, if I do it right, is really a big help. So thank you. And for those of you that were watching, of course, you would see that, yes, I do have a window for the live chat available so that we can see that going on. So at the next time we end up having another pain in the ass, and I have to go ahead and say, yeah, you remember how they were a pain in the ass the whole time? Yeah, go looking back through the video and you'll see exactly what they were saying in real time with us, and you'll see why I banned their ass. So, keep that one in mind. So, thank y'all. I really do appreciate it. Backtracking a little bit, and yes, this is going to kind of screw up how I run stuff. I don't know how I'm going to end up doing it later. Joe, thanks for being able to make it. Welcome back, and yeah, I'm really glad that we can get you back on again.
I wouldn't call this perfectly back on again, but we'll figure something out.
I didn't say perfectly. I'm just glad to have you back.
Something like that, yes.
To be fair.
To be fair. To be fair, Joe, they are getting Death, the guy that played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They're bringing him back for the next film. So
wait, the same actor or the character?
No, the same guy.
Really? That's gonna be awesome.
That's fucking cool.
I thought he did a great job. I mean, like, he looked like he was dying inside when he was forced to say, "They Melvined me."
Yes.
He just looked like he was Death had died inside, and I'm going, "Oh, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment."
Yes, it is. So, Joe, you've got that to look forward to. Death is coming back for an encore. Aren't you happy?
How many times is this going to make it? 3?
Well, it depends. Maybe he'll show up. Maybe he won't.
I think better do it in my sleep this time.
I think what's interesting is that in one or two of the pictures, it looks like one of them might be, a wedding DJ or something like that. And it was like, oh. It was like, that would suck. You went from saving the world to a wedding DJ.
Don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Tech, thank you. I really do appreciate it. You have yourself a good sleep when you finally get to it. And thanks for helping me and Dalan, kind of test spin the whole damn thing too.
Not a problem. Sleep. Yeah, that's actually been ever since I lost the weight that I have. My sleep, it's actually easy. I've been getting better rest, and it's easier for me to wake up in the mornings.
Well, all right. Good on you then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Brigid, thank you.
Mhm.
I really do. I really do appreciate the encouragement. And
Oh,
I hope
cool.
that you have yourself a reasonable rest yourself.
I will. I plan on it.
Fair enough.
Whatever do. Yeah.
If people want to find you and complain about your ferrets causing problems,
Oh, I have some news. The ferrets are no longer here.
No.
They moved out.
no,
Wait,
I don't
what?
want to say voluntarily because that could be a matter of that they found their way out. Okay.
Oh,
Look, are we talking a
Uh,
college dorm here, or?
well, Gabrielle, my husband had gotten them for her because she thought it might help her, feel better about life in general. She had stuff to take care of, and then she moved out a couple of years ago, and she finally decided to take the boys with her. So she came and got them a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm going around the house finding all my shoes and stuff they've stolen over the years.
okay then.
Yeah. And my daughter goes over on the weekends and visits them. So yeah, that's all good.
Okay then.
Yeah. So if people want to find me, they can find me on Facebook as Brigid Fitch or at my blog, brigidfitch2112.wordpress.com.
That's the one. So I was also just thinking about it that OBS has a way of doing what are called scenes. You put together a scene with different elements for what's supposed to go into it. For instance, what you guys are seeing on YouTube right now are comprised of crap. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count them 10 different pieces right now. Most of them are in view. So I kind of know how to make this work. I'm going to need a little bit of time to work pieces over, but at least I've had a little bit of experience because I've used this for streaming on my personal channel for Elite Dangerous. If you don't know about Elite Dangerous, you can look it all up later, but that's a whole other thing for me.
It's complicated.
It is complicated, but that's...
And I'm still trying to set up the voice crap.
I know. We'll end up talking about that a little bit later when we get the opportunity.
Sounds very elite.
It's not elite, it's tedious.
It's dangerous.
It's tedious and complex.
I don't have any way of shutting you up, so I'm just going to say thanks.
Now, let me rephrase that.
No, I was talking to Brigid on that one.
Oh.
Bitch.
Um,
Sorry, what?
What I did want to say is that for anybody who goes through all this stuff to get it set up so that it works the way they want it to with the voice integration and everything else, just from what I've had to go through so far, I have a lot of respect for anybody that takes that time, energy, and dedication to get it that way. So, yeah, I'm not making fun of the time and energy that has to be put into it. It's impressive.
Yeah, it took a little bit of work, but I'm pretty happy with mine right now. But that's a whole other piece for later. Of course, for Dalan, we'll see when you get back, man. You take care of yourself. He, of course, is the one that's in charge of putting all the stuff out there for you guys as the audio version of the podcast. And if you'd like to subscribe to that, that is over at, of course, www.holycrapthevlogcast.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us, all of our contact information is there. And the phone number for voicemail is 859-HCTV-554, 859-4288-554. And if you'd like to drop us a couple of dollars, drachmas. I don't recommend drachmas. You have to do them in groups of 2.
We accept gold-plated latinum.
Some of us do.
Gold pressed platinum.
That's why I said gold-pressed latinum.
You never mind. If you'd like to leave us some currency of some kind, it's over at patreon.com/HCTV. But in the meantime, thanks for being part of this. If you are someone who has had to deal with this kind of thing and you're working on your own setup, please let us know. We'd love to know what it is that you've been going through, and we'll kind of work it from there. So, just thanks. And we will be back again next week. Hopefully, I will have ironed out the best that I can, and things will work out the way they're supposed to. So until that point, you guys over there in the live chat, thank you. Ryan, Trippin, Stephanie. I did see Chitin in there earlier. Thank you guys for being with us, and we will see you soon. So until the next time we get together, everyone, of course, as always, I wish you all the peace I no longer have. I wish you the strength that I've learned. I wish you well. And my lady, it is almost your birthday, but it's too many years later, and I am still in love. Matane Fujin, I love you, I miss you, you dream of me. Till the next time we get together, everyone, good night. And please forgive me while I try to figure out how to properly shut down the stream first before we get out of here.
All right, I'm looking at the YouTube channel. Keep going.